Hey Aries, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings. Take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your wavelength, go ahead and check your other major placements. On the YouTube side of this endeavor, we are doing today Oracle deck readings. I enjoyed that last time. Really floated my boat. And then if you want a more traditional tarot spread, you can follow the Vimeo link to the Vimeo side of things. And then we'll continue the storyline with a more traditional threat. So what do we have here for Aries? All right, starting with the crow. Oh, fascinating. Okay, we have illusion. So you're mad about something, or you're worried about something, or upset about something, and you need to double check that. Right. We don't want to deny or gaslight ourselves or say, no, that wasn't that bad. But there is a point with this illusion. There is a situation that you just need to double check your facts to make sure you're seeing it correctly. Maybe ask some questions, do some exploration. Like if he were to actually do some more exploration, he would start to see that something's wrong with this picture, that the crow in the mirror is him. But he needs to slow down. So sometimes our, anger, our adrenaline can all get going really fast and kind of leave our brains in the dust, right? Once that adrenaline gets going, nothing good is happening in the rest of our brain. You can't solve any problems. You can't do anything. The adrenaline, it's very primitive. It's very necessary, but it does tend to shut down millions of years of evolution and put you right back into a more primitive state, which is fine. We need that sometimes, but this is to let you know that some sort of something here is creating an illusion. It's not what it seems. So this, of course, we don't want to go around sort of building the adrenaline in our lives and creating it in other people as well. But we want to start asking some questions and try to get that higher level thinking back in charge, right? I mean, we want our intuition in charge too, but it's all just kind of a mishmash. But we want to be thinking through the feelings that we're having, and once adrenaline gets in, we can't think through things. So this is like, hello, you need to think through something, because you might be projecting what you might be seeing, what you might be upset about could just be something that you're bringing to the situation, some assumptions that you're bringing to the situation. So make sure you're double checking that. Doing some exploration and asking some questions about what it is that you're seeing. Is someone as upset as you are? Or are you bringing all of the upset to the situation? We also have protection here. So something is being protected. Maybe a secret, maybe a future, maybe someone's looking out to make sure others are staying away, and someone's looking in to make sure the situation is, the precious item. It feels like the future to me, or it feels like something very precious, possibly between two people within a connection. It's something very precious, and it's being protected. And both parties one is watching over and caring for the thing itself, and the other one is watching the outside world. So there's teamwork here is what I'm seeing with this protection. Not like a big team, not like, a football team protecting, the football, although that's a decent metaphor. But it seems like it's a smaller group activity of protecting something. And sometimes that can be removing yourself from a situation so that you can protect, the love that exists between two people. Can be damaged when we fly off the handle here, when we let our adrenaline do the thinking for us. So wanting to protect something and safeguard something, and you may be quite worried about and quite upset about something, but it is protected. And both parties, it's almost like you think there are two parties here that are upset at each other. That may not be the case. And there's a sense or desire to protect something, protect a future. And it almost seems like a future between two people, protecting that future. And then we have scavenge. So I kind of like this in response to illusion. Look at, we've got our little junkyard crows here. They're hanging out in the trash here. I like that mixed with that, this illusion. There's something very useful in the past. You think something's used up, you think something's done, but there's actually something very useful back there that requires some sort of exploration. So going back, like if you're stuck in illusion, go back, because there's something that needs to be uncovered here. And I almost, what I'm feeling is like this trash, this garbage is actually protecting a very, I want to say nutritious nugget, but it's protecting, like in that trash, in that garbage, in what's been discarded, in what's been considered over and done, considered used up, it's played out. There's some treasure there. So we don't necessarily want to be stuck in the past, but we also need to make sure that we're getting everything we can from the lessons that we have experienced, from the experiences that we have. We're the ones that mine that. We're the ones that turn an experience that can be fairly meaningless, or it can feel big to us, it can feel important to us, but we're the ones that mine that and turn that into something useful to fuel us and our growth in the future. So I feel like there's something that's been protected back here, and there's a sense of, it's like the answer. It's like there's something in your past, and something that looks used up, and something that looks like it's gone, or something someone else threw out. There's something back there in your past that is like the key or the answer to what's an illusion. Something's been protected back there, and you maybe don't see it. And it requires exploration. Both illusion and scavenge require exploration for some sort of, both of these cards to me are asking you to do some exploration, some excavation of the past, asking some questions, and you're going to find something important back there, something that maybe has been waiting for you to be found back there. There's some sort of important key that's going to fuel your growth, help you get out of a rut, maybe help you get out of a pattern. It's going to fuel your growth, and it's I just always see like one soul kidney bean at the bottom of this, and it's useful. It's the kidney bean that keeps you going. But it's the way out, this curiosity and this scavenge and this looking to the past and trying to find something that's maybe been hidden back there or protected back there. Trying to find it is the key to getting out of this illusion and this this state of upset. It's going to help you grow out of that. Again, it's just asking questions, looking around, and yeah, okay. So I had already started getting the past here, something from your past. We have treasured memories. So you do have a memory. You have some sort of nugget back here that maybe has been protected and waiting for you to help you find your way out of sort of a house of mirrors situation that's starting to get anxiety provoking and frustrating for you and triggering for you. So there's something in the past that I want to say that there's something in the past that's triggering for you, but inside of that trigger is something that you can grow from. So that can be a little bit scary, but inside this trigger, inside the situation, there's a way that you can grow. This is reminding me of a Rumi quote, which came up recently, and it turns out, of course, as is the internet, that it's been misquoted. So it's something like, and I actually quoted it too, and then I found out more about it. It's about, all that's asked of us is that we remove the barriers, that we seek and find the barriers to love within us. And the rest of the quote is, and then love those barriers, or something along those lines. So there's something about some sort of barrier or some sort of thing in your past that may be very triggering for you, but there's something inside of it. So it may have prevented you from seeing the truth, or prevented you from this trigger, this upset that comes with something, prevents you from seeing the core value of that thing. There is value in that memory, and there's something there for you to just find and maybe even love in yourself. That's what I get from treasured memories here. There's something from the past. You're holding on to it, and it has value. It has value. Normally I see that as a really pleasant memory, but now I'm looking at not pleasant memories. So I think we're just talking about memories. We're reiterating that there's something from your past here. So we have, okay, we have my home is my castle here. So there's a lot back here. You have a lot of thoughts. You have kind of a whole world, a whole dream, a whole vision. And here you are contemplating sharing it. There's a lot more to be shared. There's a lot more to talk about. You've worked on something for a long time, and you're getting ready to start sharing it, start bringing it out into the world, making it a reality, taking it from your mind and bringing it into reality. You know, you've been building this. It has been protected, but this is all about communication and wanting to share part of yourself with the world. Maybe the sense of safety too, right? These are turrets. This is, well, those are jails, but like, there's a sense of safety here. And there's a whole kind of, I want to say, a secret world back here. And there's this one, there's again, one nugget that we're bringing forward here. Again, one nugget that we're bringing forward here. We've been protecting this. Right, my home is my castle. It does connotate this sense of safety and this sense of having protected something. Maybe having protected a memory that you now need to go back and scavenge. I mean, this can really open up some really difficult territory for some people. So if you need, you know, support, or make sure you have a safe space to start exploring some of that stuff, because if you've got some seriously buried stuff, I would not want to be, you know, just go goof around in that. I don't want to be recommending something that's going to be too overwhelming for someone. Pure nature. This is changes that are irreversible. Once you open up about something, once you change, you can't go back to the bud. The flower can't return to bud stage. So there's a sense of adolescence here. There's a sense of becoming an adult. There's a sense of growth, and it's irreversible growth. So I feel like this growth here that helps you kind of calm down this like upset. I almost want to say like a bit of PTSD, or, you know, that's a very official term, but something like that, something from your past that's very upsetting. There's a sense of once you go back, like maybe it's even a memory from adolescence. That's what I want to say. It could be a memory from adolescence, from a formative time in your life when you were changing, when you were growing, and turning into an adult. But there's a trigger back there that needs to be explored and understood. You can't go back to being a child. So we can't go back and redo the whole thing and redo this event from your childhood or whatever. We can't go back. We've already grown past that, right? Time's just this moving, rushing river. And we can't go back to this stage. But in this stage, like, it feels to me like she's almost looking in this bud, and she's looking at us. She's looking in the present moment, but she's looking at what she used to be, and maybe, and she's looking at this past. This is her past. She's looking at it. She can't go back there, but she can certainly look at it and find some nuggets here. And then we have the elixir of life, which I think is really important with this reading, and we're talking about going back to the past, looking into that, finding growth from that. And then we have this elixir of life. This is about pleasure, enjoyment. You know, life has a lot of pain that it gets dished to us inevitably. And this is making sure that we are taking care of ourselves, taking care of our bodies, fueling our bodies as healthfully as possible. This always reminds me of blueberries. So I rarely buy blueberries, but when I'm definitely feeling depleted, or I mean, they're one of my favorite fruits, right? And raspberries are good too. So these are my favorite fruits. And so this card reminds me that if I'm going through a tough time or something, that this is a place where we can indulge ourselves in a way that's not self-destructive, but is also like making sure our bodies are, I want to say, temples of pleasure, of like we're bringing the pleasure in. And sometimes that has to be very intentional, because life sometimes wants to make the whole thing unpleasurable, and we have to make sure that we're trying to balance that out with bringing in pleasure. So this to me is about taking care of your body, taking care as well as you can, things you enjoy, things that you love, in engaging with them in a healthy way. That doesn't mean no sugar or whatever. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody depending on prior struggles, but and where you're at. But this is about healthful pleasures, nourishing pleasures. So, and making sure that we're engaging with that and that we're taking care of the body. And bringing, it always reminds me of Mary Oliver's poem, Wild Plums. And I don't know if I can't recite that, but if you want to look it up, it's one of my faves. And then we're going to do this Wild Kuan Yin here. Oh, this is fascinating. Okay. Good fortune granted, a harvest here. Just as there are physical seasons upon the earth, the soul too goes through its seasons. That's what I'm feeling here, is this season, like this going from the spring to summer here, seasons of your life that you move through, and you can't go back, you can't return to them. You can remember them, and you can find some really good memories from them that might actually calm down an upset here. Spring in the soul heralds a time of birth. New ideas, new inspirations, new energy to take action, new life, new connections, and new gifts abound. New life and good fortune are headed your way. So that's actually a pretty unique card for that deck. So I really appreciate, it feels like also there's assistance here. There's some sort of help, some sort of assistant here as we bring in some sort of harvest. The fruits of your labors, maybe even a message coming in here. This has a very Gemini feel to it, the twins. All right, Aries, I hope that was helpful. And if you'd like to join me over on Vimeo for the rest of the story, we'll do that. If not, I'll see you guys in a while.